Midnight thoughts. Not everybody that will say they love you will know exactly what love is. You see, we say we love people, but we feed people into the conditions that are most conducive for us. And when those conditions cease to be most conducive, the love just kind of just doesn't fit in. We are quick to say we love, but on evaluation, maybe that's not what we really intended to say. Because Emma believe love is kind, love is forgiving, love is understanding, love forgives quickly. Love is what God talks about. Love is not what most of us perceive it to be. Love is not selfish. Love is forbearing. Love is a builder. And it takes a miracle to get true love. And I believe when you actually do have a partner and you feel like, you guys can build through the obstacles and through the hassles of each and every single day, if you pray for each other, if that person pulls you closer towards God and, God's word becomes your constitution, it makes really, really a difference. Situations or problems will never cease from happening. This will always be a part of life. No one is perfect. Everybody is flawed. Today you could be making me happy. Maybe next month you could just be messing up with my head. But at the end of the day, if I have that love for you and I have the fear of God in myself, then I believe there's nothing hard, there's nothing difficult that we cannot work on, because that is what love is. Nobody's promised happiness when you walk into love. You see, today I'll leave you, I'll go get somebody else, but then that somebody else will still end up being almost maybe like you. So it's better to build when you have, rather than leaving and going and starting and building again and building again. You realize that over the years, all you're doing is just building and building and building situations that never happen. And I think it's sad because, especially, we take the steps. We take the steps. We no longer follow the God's protocol. Most of the times, we find ourselves sleeping with the partners that we are with, without even being married to them. And you realize that you consummate those relationships and you plugging into those people, and everything about those people just gets absorbed in you. So imagine a situation where you plugged into a couple of people and all those things about them just keep on uploading into your system. And then you wonder why your life is never peaceful. It's because you've plugged into so many people and absorbed so many people into your system that your spirit just keeps on, all those spirits just keep on fighting. But if you honest and you faithful and you stick on to that one person, it doesn't matter how flawed you are. People are damaged. Before you become whole, you go through a lot. You could be damaged. You could have been the worst person ever, but then you meet this one person and you realize, I want to build with this person. And you're an adult to be able to say, you know what, let's do this. Pray for each other more. Work on it. Trust in God in every circumstance. When you get into that base of argument, when you can't understand each other, you know what? Just pray. Make it your prayer room. Have a prayer room together. Say, you know what? I'm going to pray for this situation. And trust me, God does change. A relationship where God is involved, it's rectified and it is set. But in a relationship where God is not involved, it just kind of becomes a messy situation that cannot be controlled. So involve God in your relationship. And it doesn't matter how far people are, it could be at the blink of maybe breaking up. It could be at the blink of losing it. But then if you still have a little bit of love in yourself and feel like, this is my person's, then just hold hands and just go back into the drawing board and say, okay, you know what? We've been doing wrong. We've been working this way wrong. Let's build. Let's pray. Let's see how much or how far prayer takes us. Just believe and trust and work on it together. Because it doesn't help losing you or losing me or losing the other to get another and start to build. What you've been building is much way worth than what you start with someone else. Don't plug in into a million souls. Just that one person that you love. And that is enough. And let God's way be your constitution at all times. Because He's love and He's God.